The Lokar Car Show goes to Columbus, Ohio for part one of a Good Guys double dose. Our first car is a Camaro that's taken a trip back through time.
I've done everything on the car except the paintwork. I redid the interior, complete interior. The trunk, I cleaned the trunk out and painted the trunk. In the engine, it's the NMS L48 engine. I put back in, completely rebuilt, completely redone. Did all the detailing under the hood and underneath the undercarriage, painted the subframe, power brakes. I just redid it, restored everything back to original condition. That was my intention. Hoses all are General Motors marked hoses with correct date and lettering on it. The battery is the R59 Delco battery. It was correct for the car when it was purchased new. All the battery cables are correct. Heater hoses are correct. The spark plug wires are date coded, they're correct. Tires and wheels, original 6-inch, 14 by 6-inch rally wheels. Tires are the red line tires which would have come on a car when it was new. The car is tuxedo black, which was a factory black. It's a AA coat on a cowl tag, so it's tuxedo black with red interior. So it's the original color combination. The car originally was a 350 when it was built from the factory, and that's the way it's going to stay. I used to be into drag boat racing years ago, and I had a big block drag boat. But I think I'm happy with the 350. I don't have any intention on selling it. We usually drive it weekly, just for a local cruise somewhere. Camaros, I like the lines of the Camaro. I think the first 67, has the cleanest look of the Camaros. I think the performance is nice, the handling is appropriate for the year. But I just think the first year of a model, of a car, is always the most desirable, and for me, the 67 Camaro met that.
Next, a small car gets an enormous boost, almost too big to handle.
This is my 1959 Morris Minor. It's pearl orange. Got a blown 600 horse 350. 671 blower, 2 750 Hollies. It's a 350 turbo TCI, 3500 stall, 9-inch Ford, 4-link, 31 spline axle, 390 gears. Just a 22-gallon fuel cell, which you need to scoot this thing around. It's pretty hard on the fuel. Got to be different. I got about 4 years in it now. 2 years in the body shop, and 6 months in the upholstery shop, and of course a lot of work. It's built to drive. Well, you got to kind of lean around when you go around corners. I mean, it's just, so you got to get used to driving it, I bought it at a big swap meet in Springfield, Ohio 4 years ago, and I seen it, and it was black primer, and of course it didn't have any of the hot rod stuff on it at the time, so I liked the body lines on the car. I thought it would make a nice little hot rod. A lot of thumbs up. It's pretty loud. It's an awesome car.
Our next car was chosen for being a rare breed.
I bought this here in Columbus about 3 years ago. It was a rust-free car. It had been in Ohio its whole life without a spot of rust on it. And I just tore it all apart and redone it. I put a 302, mildly built, and I got a 5-speed transmission in it. It's black. The gold is a gold poly. I think it was a Chrysler collar. I just put that stripe on there to accent the black and gold. I tried 2 or 3 collars before I stuck with that one. The hood, the scoop is off of like a 99 Mustang. I got that and put it on there. It just bolts on. The interior's fairly stock. I got Mustang seats in it and redone them. I built a console for it. These old 62s just never had much of a console, so I built a console. It's been lowered in the front and the rear. It's about 2 inches been lowered. Well, I put vintage air conditioning in it. The mirrors here, Those are just custom mirrors that I purchased and put on there. You just don't see many 62s and 63 Fairlanes. So that's primarily why I went with it.
Coming up, that isn't what you think it is. This Lokar Car Show is being brought to you by Lokar Performance Products, quality, plain and simple. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. And by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. And by Brothers Truck, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. And by Flowmaster, the exhaust technology company. Welcome back to Columbus, which offered a bird's eye view of the event. A farmer pays tribute to a family favorite with this truck.
Bought the truck up by Lake Erie. My father-in-law gave me a 1972 Cadillac limousine. It was very low mileage from a funeral home, of which we built the chassis and the motor and everything from. We drive it a lot. We probably put 20, 30,000 miles on it. Dairy Queen, of course, if good Lord made anything better than Dairy Queen, he saved it for himself. So that's the reason for the DQ. It's everything that makes my family tick. It's a 472 Cadillac engine. And again, my father-in-law gave me that car with the intentions that I was going to use it for that. Everything, the drivetrain, rear end, everything's out of that car. Well, the seats are something that we just came up with because we like, the milk truck, of course, milk cans. So we made the bases from milk cans and put racing seats on it. The seats we just bought at a swap meet. The milk cans actually were given to me too from a friend. I have a farmer and he gave me the milk cans, and they were stainless steel, so we just polished them up a little bit and stuck them in there. Worked out real well. Constantly we hear, hey, you got a blizzard or a cone or something,
This half-built coupe was taken to completion by its new owner.
This car was a basket case, was halfway put together. Most of the parts were there and got it at a really, really good deal. Trying to keep the Mustang looking stock. If it were going down the road, look like a stock Mustang. I've always dealt with billet, never had a problem out of their wheels, really good wheels, and that was the closest thing that I felt looked halfway stock. The engine originally, when I got it, had 13,000 miles, it and the transmission. The only thing basically that I've done to it was the Trick Flow top end kit and cam. Basically built it to, if something happened to it, I could go to Advance or AutoZone and buy what I needed to fix it back. Went with the Wimbledon white because of the low maintenance. No problem on keeping it clean. The plans were originally build it to autocross it, is what I'm gonna do with it. Basically, I just like all cars, I'd take a Dodge, I guess, so,
Ever wanted one of those in your grill?
We make them here, we build them here in the United States, in South Mississippi, and our headlights range from 1936 to 1994. Here's the best part. It's a headlight that'll work in any vehicle that was made during that time. If it was a car, a motorcycle, a motorhome, a truck, it fits in that. The halo is 100,000 hours. The main beam is about a 3-year bulb, but it's an interchangeable bulb. It's an H4 bulb that you can buy at O'Reilly's and you could take it out. So it's not like the old headlights where you had to take them out and you threw them away. What we have here is something that you could change the bulb with, so you never lose your investment. We have a headlight that just has a solid halo that you can just plug into your parking lights or to your ignition and run as a daylight running light, or our multicolored headlight. The nice part about it is it comes with a small remote that gets 16 colors, and 5 different intensity levels. So if I'm at a cruise in and I want to change the color of my halos to red to accent the persona of my car, I can do that. It's in the new product section. It's our new turn signal headlight. And the nice part about this headlight is it allows those guys that have roadsters or cars that where they deleted the turn signal. Now they can get the turn signal in the headlight, and so they don't have to deal with a turn signal anymore. What about We've done stuff with etchings in it. We've had guys that's asked for like their name to be etched in it. We've got a guy now that wants us to build a custom pair of headlights, and he wants to put B-17 on there to honor his father who was killed in World War II. And so we're going to put a coin in there with the B-17 in it, mounted to the shield, and we're going to etch B-17 on the glass. We have a website. Our website is haloheadlights with an S.co.
Coming up, would you believe that was used in the Army? Welcome back to Columbus. What happened to this old Army wagon?
I was wearing a t-shirt, and when I was building the car, there was colors on the t-shirt, and we were debating on the color. I looked down at the shirt, and the gentleman had some drawings on the table, sitting in my kitchen table. And I told him, I said, well, I want this and this. And we decided we wanted to go with scallops. I says, but I don't want something traditional. I says, I want something that's just a little bit different. So then that's how we ended up with the Pink Panther, and it was just a straight purple, and the turquoise was just like a turquoise. Actually, this was an original World War II Army staff car. I saw it sitting, and a gentleman had turned it into a street rod, and it was pumpkin orange. I bought it because as growing up as a kid, I always built 40 Ford sedan models. I must have built 25 of them. I was in, and unbeknownst to me that I didn't realize that 39s and 40s were basically the same body, so I saw that, hadn't owned a street rod, hadn't owned a hot rod, and I bought 39, the orange 39, and I drove it for a year like that. Ended up ripping it all the way down to the frame and completely redoing it in my garage. Kind of like reminded me as a kid building a big model car. And that's pretty much what it ended up being. And it took me 2 years to get it on the road, and I got it on the road, and I drove it for a year, and I parked it for the next 15 years, 12 years, kind of lost interest. And I got a son that's roaming around here somewhere, and he said, Dad, we got to get that car back on the road. I said, well, I need a gas tank in it, I need this, I need that. We got it on the road and been running the wheels off of it ever since. Actually, I bought these wheels from a rod shop. He had them laying in a corner. The customer never came and got them. I put the wheels on there. They weren't that nice when I got them, and I spent about a month on each wheel, wet sanding them and polishing them. And then when we painted the car, I wanted the spinners to have a little bit of zip to them, so that's where we ended up with the turquoise down into the spinners. The motor's a 350 Chevy with a 350 Chevy tranny, mild cam, Edelbrock carb, 4-bore. It runs pretty good. I get about 20, 21 miles to the gallon. It's 60 mile an hour. It's got a Nova rear end, nothing power, Armstrong steering, no air conditioning, just a basic driver. There's a ton of room in the car. It's comfortable to drive, plenty of room in the back, trunk. You know, you're not lost for luggage. You're not lost to bring anything. If you left home without it, then it wasn't because there wasn't any room to carry it. Every little girl on the face of the earth says to me, Mommy, I love that pink car. Or I got a few other friends that the Easter egg car, or, you know, I get jagged pretty heavily from the hot rodders because of the pink.
We had to see some of this cool stuff.
Hi, I'm Sandy with Butch's Cool Stuff. We manufacture the visible gas pumps that were popular back in the 30s. They're all aluminum construction, plexiglass cylinder, and the glass lenses. They come in 2 sizes, That 10-foot, as you can see back here, which is the original size. And then we have a scaled-down version as well, so that it can fit inside your family room. They come complete, ready for you to paint and assemble. You can paint them to match your hot rod, your garage, or even the brand of gasoline that your grandpa used to pump when he was a kid. For $1,000, there's little the auto enthusiast could do on a weekend and make more of an impact than add a gas pump like this outside your garage. I mean, they're just cool.
We manufacture easy to mount conversion kits for 30s, 40s, and 50s cars. If you need to put a late model engine in your early Ford car, we can do that for you. We also offer transmission conversion kits, cross-member kits, brake pedal kits, suspension lowering, disc brake conversion kits, all manufactured by us in Dayton, Ohio. For more information, check out our website at www.butchescoolstuff.com.
Coming up, a taste of an old-time original. This Lokar Car Show has been brought to you by Lokar Performance Products, quality, plain and simple, and by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener, and by Ossenmacher Specialty Tools, professional tools for the professional technician, and by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories, and by Cal's Custom, proudly manufactured in the United States. We're back in Columbus, where even kids can find their dream rides. When we saw this license plate, we had to know more.
I originally saw this car on a website, and it was in Horseheads, New York. It was put away since 1961. And after I sold a car I previously built, I looked the guy up, and it was still for sale. I bought it and brought it home. It was an original running car, and I built the car from the ground up over a period of 3 years. And the only thing I didn't do to the car was sew the seats. The rest of the car I built myself from the ground up. It's a crate motor, a Chevrolet 350. It's tune-board fuel injected. It has a 700R transmission, 9-inch Ford rear end, power steering, power brakes, power windows. It has all the toys. I put 3-point seat belts in and lap belts for the grandkids. I've been a General Motors street rodder guy for the last 30 years, and this is my third Buick, and I've built a number of 34 Chevys over the years. The significance of the no clone plate is it's a real car, it's not a reproduction fiberglass car. It's all steel car. The seats were out of a Dodge Shadow, and the rear seat is out of a Chrysler minivan. It just caught my eye, the style of the car, and they ride nice.
A friend's passing lands the next owner some Tinseltown history.
A friend of mine had it, he passed away, and I bought it out of the estate. They only made about 1,800 of them. Very rare. It was owned by a movie studio in California. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans used it in some of their movies. And I understand she could even be seen driving around town out there.
There's no Oldsmobile engine in this beauty. It has a Corvette LS3 with a Lokar transmission dipstick. So how did this modern upgrade make it into this Hollywood classic?
The other motor blew up, and he had too much money, and he spent it on a Corvette motor. As my friend did it, he had new gauges put in, some other things, so he altered the dash a little bit.
So does he take the old girl out on the road?
Every chance I get. I've probably put, between last year and this year, I've probably put about 3,500 miles on it.
This week's Lokar Lowdown, I want to start right off, Brian. If, folks are out there, they want to put a crate motor in their Mopar, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Lokar when they want to put their drive-by-wire pedals in.
We've got, we're really proud of the fact that we've got all the applications figured out for all the Hemi crate motors that are out there right now. And based on your application, we've got you covered with the Mopar. And that utilizes our drive-by-wire module. You can go with any of our pedals that we offer. We've got them in Midnight Series, we've got them in standard or brush finish, and it just comes, your pedal comes with an adapter with it that allows you to put whatever pedal style you want on there.
Clock it right in the way you need.
You can clock it, it's all splined. And with the harnesses, especially for the Mopar, we've got the harness and the programming's in here. This is where the special stuff is right in here.
Stuff. We like special stuff.
What happens is it depends upon what you're running. We've got the Mopars figured out. We've got programs for mast motors. We've got programs for even the Holley EFI systems now. Not to mention with the flying lead system, we also do the Ford, the Coyote, the crate motor that they have as well. And then with most of the General Motors applications, we're able to get the Packard connector where you can go right into the General Motors harness. We've got a lot of the new applications now. We've upped it. It used to be just two General Motors and the Ford, and now we've got all the Mopars figured out. We're starting to expand this product line, and we're really proud of the new billet piece too. It looks really good. It's high tech because it is a high tech part.
Right, and just our mounting surface right here, and very easy to install. Lots of choices as usual. Quality, plain and simple. That's what you get with Lokar, and made in the USA. Find out more at lokar.com and like them on Facebook.
Well, that's it for part one of the Good Guys in Columbus. Next time, Lokar Car Show continues with part two from Columbus.